All right, everybody, Zaxtorian here, and took a look at the developer live stream today where they kind of unveiled and talked about the new DLC coming probably next week. PTB probably starting tomorrow. Sometime this week is all we know. But let's go ahead and take a look at the trailer for the new DLC.
That's what.
All right, so there we go, guys. We saw the trailer. We know the killer is going to be called the Plague, and we know that the DLC is called Demise of the Faithful. And here we see the brand new map coming. And I got to say, from seeing the dev stream, I really like the looks of this new map. I think it looks really cool. I like the new textures for the building. Reminds me a little bit of the Asylum map, but when you look at what they have for the interior of the temple, it looks like it's completely, different on the inside, the design and the layout from like the Asylum. And they said that there's always going to be a generator, I guess, in the bottom floor or the crypt of the temple. But as you can see here, it's really massive. It just looks really, really nice. Here we see Nia running and headed for one of the main entrances to the temple map. And I'm sure that sometimes the dungeon, as we'll see Nia running in here to try to save the person off the hook, I'm sure that sometimes the dungeon will also be in the shack. I'm assuming there will be a shack on this map, not 100% sure. But this is the new map. I'm excited for the new map. I think it looks really, really nice. I can't say when I saw, some of the previous maps and some of the previous DLCs like the Legion, didn't get excited for seeing the new maps and the new killer. But this DLC here, I really, really like it. And wait till you see what the new Plague killer does. And here we see Meg freaking out because she blew a skill check on a generator. And yeah, but it looks really nice. As you can see there, I just really, really, really like that new temple design. It looks like they put a lot of work into it. But let's go ahead and listen in as they talk about this new attack the killer has. Throwing up on survivors and spreading toxicity everywhere. This is awesome.
Seems to not have a good time either.
No one's having a good time about this. So this power has a few parts. There's the vomit itself, which creates sickness in the survivors. As they get vomited on, or once they become infected by the vomit, sickness grows depending on what you do. Running, exerting yourself, doing interactions will make you sicker and sicker until you become, I don't know what the current word for it is, fully sick, which really weakens the survivor. There's, as you can see, objects that get infected by the vomit, so you can actually run around and vomit on all kinds of stuff, and that will sicken survivors who interact with it. And once they're sick, survivors have only one way to cure themselves, which is by using the pool of devotion, which you can see right there.
Which we'll refer from now on as fountains.
Fountains, yeah. Don't call them magic fountains. These are the pools of devotion, or fountains. The fountains are really interesting because they also heal survivors when they use them. And so you wonder, well, that seems like it's pretty easy for survivors to deal with. You get sick, you use a fountain. But there's another aspect to the pool of devotion, which is that the killer can use a fountain that has been corrupted by survivors to gain her own power and to gain the corrupt purge, which I'm not sure if we have the footage of, but the corrupt purge damages survivors who are touched by it. So it really changes the dynamic of what you'll use the vomit power for.
It's really interesting. There's this choice as a survivor to, well, first of all, spread the sickness. So that's not really a choice. It's something that happens. Mm-hmm. So the choice of using the fountain to heal, but also being able to give that ultimate power to the killer,
right,
or living with the sickness, which is not good at all.
Which is difficult.
Yeah.
This is just awesome, guys. I can't believe how cool this new killer is. They really got creative. They really put thought into this killer. I love the sickness, how you can spread it if you're not careful, if you don't, decide to go, cleanse yourself in a fountain. or if you decide to cleanse yourself, those choices there. But I know everybody wants to know about the perks of the survivor, so let's go ahead and listen in now.
All right. So, so with the killer and its power, there's also perks coming with it.
I'm sure people are I don't even see chat,
Yeah.
but I'm sure they're all asking, does she move at regular speed?
Yes,
right?
that's probably a question that's coming.
I knew
back.
it. Don't worry, chat. She moves at regular speed.
Is she slowed down when she's charging her power?
At the moment, she slows down when she charges it, but then once she's holding it, she goes back to full speed.
Okay.
These are details we're actually still being fiddled with. This is a lot of the stuff that we would like to see reactions to in PTB. We'll talk about that later.
All right. So,
Perks.
Dark
perks.
Devotion.
All right. Okay, so the first perk of the plague is Dark Devotion. Do you want me to read it out, or do we have it here?
Well, we see the footage, right? You can describe it. You can read it. Go ahead.
All right, I'm just going to go ahead and read it. The display of your powers creates a whirlwind of panic that spreads throughout the land. You become obsessed with one survivor. Hitting the obsession with your basic attack causes the obsession to emit a 32-meter terror radius for a few seconds. During that time, your terror radius is reduced to 0. The effect can only be triggered with a cooldown. I'm being a little bit elusive about the exact numbers. Don't worry, guys, you're going to get them soon. And the obsession does hear the terror radius they emit during the duration of the effect. So this is actually a really cool perk. You essentially put your terror radius on the obsession for a few seconds when you hit them.
so as killer, you don't have the terror radius anymore.
That's right.
That's it.
It is transferred.
The obsession is now carrying your terror radius
Okay.
for a few seconds. And that does also affect all the effects that happen in the terror radius, then happen on this new terror radius that is on the obsession. The second perk is Infectious Fright. The cries of the unfaithful make your heart leap. Any survivors that are within the killer's terror radius, while another survivor is put into the dying state by basic attack, will yell and reveal their current location to the killer for a few seconds. Can we talk about what this perk was called in playtesting?
Yes, you can.
All right. This perk used to be called Shit Your Pants.
Yeah.
Because it makes people scared and they scream.
It's a great name. I just won't allow it for the plague.
No, no. But that was great. We had a lot of fun playing with Shit Your Pants, and honestly, it's become one of my favorite perks to down somebody, see everybody yell, and then go after them.
It's a great combo perk.
Absolutely.
You want to combo it, you get all the survivors to scream and chain them.
Yeah. And the final plague perk is Corrupt Intervention. The 3 generators located furthest from you are blocked by the entity for a few seconds at the start of the trial. Survivors cannot repair the generators for the duration. So essentially, this makes it so that at the beginning of the game, there are less generators to patrol to increase the chances that you're going to find somebody and initiate a chance early in the game.
Plus, either the survivor waits for the entity to come out of the generator, or has to go closer to where the killer is.
Yeah.
So it's pretty interesting.
So those are the killer's perks.
Awesome. Are we done with the killer?
I think we're done.
Awesome. We're gonna go to Jane Romero. I don't think anyone saw her yet.
Oh, this is the reveal.
Yes.
There
this
she
is
is.
the reveal.
Aha.
There she is. And Jane comes with 3 perks.
Of course.
Of course.
So, Louis, thank you.
There we go. All right. Jane's first perk is Solidarity. Sharing painful experiences has the power to heal. While injured, healing a survivor also heals you at a certain conversion rate.
Yeah,
That
I was
means
gonna scream right away.
not 100%.
What? Yeah.
Not 100%.
Okay.
Not
I'll let the cat out of the bag
100%.
here. What we have right now is 50%. So when you heal somebody, you also get 50% of that healing back on yourself, which is pretty neat. The second perk for Jane Romero is Poised. Achieving goals boosts your confidence. After a generator is completed, you leave no scratch marks for 10 seconds. I guess that's good for people who like to do their gen and scoot away.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the last perk for Jane is
Wait for it. Oh.
Head On. When your mind is set, there better be no one standing in your way. After standing in a locker for 3 seconds, the perk activates. While the perk is activated, perform a rush action to leave a locker to stun the killer. for 3 seconds if they're standing within range, and that causes the exhausted status effect, and it cannot be used while exhausted. So this is it. This is the locker stun perk.
Finally.
Finally, it's finally here.
We still, there's still a lot of requirements to get that stun down.
Right. You have to be hiding in a locker for a certain amount of time. Killer has to be within a very certain range. I don't expect that this is going to be too easy to pull off all the time.
No.
But I really am looking forward to watching people try.
The idea is to create exciting, tense moment with the lockers. You know, lockers are there and are quite interesting, and we want to see them used more in an interesting situation. So let's see what would you do with that perk.
Yeah. Apply it directly to the killer's forehead.
Thank you for that.
So there we are, guys. We heard all about the perks for the killer, the new survivor, in the new DLC coming, the demise of the faithful. And I'm really excited, guys. Let me know down in the comments below what you guys think of this new DLC. Are you pumped? And do you think this might be the best DLC since the nurse? Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Peace.